Okay, so let's talk about something huge, something that's got the fandom buzzing, Reddit threads exploding, and Twitter losing its collective mind. Because apparently, Darth Vader has got revenge, and not just any revenge, petty, personal, long time coming revenge. The kind of revenge that makes you stop and go, wait, did he really do that? Now we all know that Vader isn't exactly a forgive and forget type of guy. If you cross him, you better believe he will remember. He spent years tracking down Obi-Wan Kenobi, and when he finally found him, he didn't hesitate. He was obsessed, and now we might be looking at another case of Vader's deep-seated grudge holding in action. So here's what's going on. In the upcoming comic series Star Wars Legacy of Vader, we get a peek into the mind of Kylo Ren as he digs into his grandfather's past. He's looking for proof that he's just like him, that the dark side is in his blood. And what does he find? Apparently, at some point in his dark and villainous career, Darth Vader may have gone back to Tatooine and killed Watto. Yes, Watto, the little blue scruffy greedy junk dealer who owned Anakin as a child. And fans are losing it. Now we have to ask, did Vader really do this? Or is Kylo just seeing what he wants to see? And what if it is true? Why did it take him so long? Was this some kind of unfinished business, or was it just Vader indulging in some dark side nostalgia? We've got a lot to talk about. Vader's history, Kylo's obsession, fan reactions, and of course what this means for Star Wars as a whole. So strap in, grab your blue milk, and let's break this down. To understand why Vader would ever bother going back to Tatooine for something this personal, we need to go way back to when he wasn't Darth Vader at all. He was just Anakin Skywalker. And let's be real, Anakin's childhood was not great. He and his mother, Shmi, were slaves. Not workers, not servants, actual slaves. They belonged to Watto, a shady junk dealer who, while not as cruel as some, still treated them as property. Now let's remember, Watto refused to free Shmi. He lost Anakin in a bet to Qui-Gon, but he held on to Anakin's mother. And that one decision, that changed everything. If Watto had let Shmi go, Anakin might have never developed the fear of loss that ultimately led him to the dark side. But instead, Anakin had to grow up knowing that his mother was still a slave, still suffering, while he trained as a Jedi. Fast forward to Attack of the Clones, and Anakin finally goes back to Tatooine. But it's too late. His mother has been taken by Tusken Raiders, and by the time he finds her, she's dying in his arms. That moment is pivotal. That's the moment when Anakin starts losing himself, and in his rage, he wipes out an entire village. Not just the men, not just the women, the children too. Now let's pause for a second. Anakin already slaughtered an entire group of people over his mother. He was that full of anger, that full of pain. So the fact that he didn't go straight back to Watto and take revenge, that's actually kind of surprising. Now here's where things get interesting. In Legacy of Vader, we don't actually see this moment play out in real time. Instead, we're experiencing it through the perspective of Kylo Ren. And let's be honest, Kylo is not the most reliable narrator. This is the same guy that talks to the burned remains of Vader's helmet like it's his personal therapist. The same guy who literally destroyed a room in a tantrum when things didn't go his way. So the big question is Kylo actually uncovering something real? Or is he just seeing what he wants to see? Because remember, Kylo desperately wants to be Vader. He idolizes him. He needs to believe he's following in his grandfather's footsteps. And in his mind, if Vader went back to Tatooine and took revenge on the person who enslaved him, that would be proof that anger and vengeance are part of their family legacy. So what if Kylo is just misinterpreting something? What if Vader was on Tatooine for an entirely different reason and Kylo twisted it into a revenge story? Or what if Vader did go back? What if, after years of ruling the galaxy, he decided it was finally time to tie up one last loose end from his past? No matter what the truth is, one thing is for certain. Star Wars fans are having the time of their lives with this. Social media exploded as soon as the comic preview dropped. Some fans are saying, yes, Vader finally settles the score. Others are laughing at the idea of this giant, terrifying Sith Lord storming into a junk shop, lightsaber ignited, while Watto just sits there like, "Hey Annie, what brings you back?" And then there are the skeptics, the ones pointing out that this is all coming from Kylo's unhinged perspective, so we shouldn't take it too seriously. At the end of the day, Legacy of Vader proves one thing. Darth Vader is still the most important character in Star Wars. Even decades after his story supposedly ended, we still can't stop talking about him. Disney keeps bringing him back in comics, books, TV shows, and even live action appearances. Obi-Wan Kenobi gave us one of the best Vader moments. That final battle, the helmet being cracked open, the raw emotion, absolutely legendary. And now, even in Legacy of Vader, he's still shaping the galaxy. Because whether he actually killed Watto or not, the fact that Kylo Ren believes he did, that tells us everything we need to know. Vader's influence is everywhere. So now I've got to ask, what's your take? Do you think Vader actually went to Tatooine and took his revenge? Or is this just another case of Kylo Ren seeing what he wants to see? And if Vader did take out Watto, do you think he had unfinished business with Jabba the Hutt too? Drop your thoughts in the comments and debate away. And as always, may the Force be with you.